Don't ask yourself what makes you happy. Happy can be a very loaded word. Happy can come with a lot of baggage that you don't know how to unpack. Hi, welcome to the Feminist Homemaker. My name is Luna. Whatever gender you are or aren't, or for any age under the sun, it's important to be able to minimize anxiety from clutter, visual mess, and be able to locate items in your own home. Today, I'm going to show you how to organize your home like a professional and on a budget. To do this, I'm going to walk you through what I do as a professional organizer step by step so you can apply this process yourself. So, let's start from the beginning. My job is to look at an area my clients need organized and ask them, what do you need to store here? And then create a system that works for them. That last part is key in separating what I do from someone who does professional decluttering, as a declutterer fixes a space by helping their clients eliminate excess. My job as a professional organizer is not to help people get rid of stuff, but to help make space for the stuff they already have. I ask my clients to let me know what they want to keep in a room or area. Then it is my job to make it fit, or in some cases, let them know how much realistically can be stored in that area, and then work with what they decide to keep there. Now, having a lot of stuff is nothing to be embarrassed about. Unless you are an iron-willed or well-disciplined minimalist, most people accumulate as time goes on. Keeping a home stocked with what it needs to function and provide joy often means a large inventory. However, it's possible that someone who thought they had too much stuff in a space actually just didn't have an effective way to store what they had in that space. Additionally, a well-designed space can be proactive in eliminating excess that would turn into clutter. A core belief of how I do professional organization is that a system should maintain itself. Let me give you an example. Here I have a stack of stationery drawers. The bottom is labeled permanent markers, which is completely full. I am not tempted to buy permanent markers when I go to the store because, 1, I know I already have all the colors, and 2, I know I don't have space for more. I love stationery. So by making a dedicated drawer to one of my greatest temptations, I give myself the capacity to indulge without going into excess. Here's the drawer for my regular color markers. It has plenty of room for more. So not only can I easily see what colors I do have when I want to use them, if I see colors I don't have at the store, I can feel free to buy them because I know I have space. I can keep buying all the colors that will make me happy until the drawer is full. Buying more of an item once a space is full would require downsizing. However, as I mentioned, I don't even have an inclination to look at permanent markers in the store because I know my drawer is full. I know I have what I need. See, this system works for me because I grew up poor, and so I have a fear of scarcity. But I also will never overfill the drawers because my parents were hoarders, and that also caused a lot of stress growing up. So the drawers being full but not overfilled makes me feel secure. The emotional core of home organization is a key tenet in creating successful systems for my clients. I have yet to meet anybody whose way of housekeeping or lack thereof is not emotionally rooted in their childhood or home of origin. Thus, before I start getting into any measurements or logistics, I spend time with my clients during intake to understand their needs this way. Fully understanding your needs in the home, both physically and emotionally, is what will allow you to create a practically self-sustaining system. By that I mean you are naturally inclined to sustain it, and upkeep takes minimal time and effort. I've even employed this technique with parents to organize their kid space, so I've seen my method work for all ages. Now that I've built a good foundation for understanding the basics of my approach to home organization, it's time to go into actionable steps you can take to apply to your own home. For greater efficacy, I'm going to go over these steps using a previous client's journey and progress photos as an example of what this process looks like. So let's get started. Step 1, vision board. The first thing you need to do is see where you want to take this space. You can do this by clipping from magazines, making a Pinterest board, or even saving photos to a folder in your phone. What's important is that you visualize what the end product of this organization project is going to look like. The first thing I ask for my clients is for them to send me a few photos of the space they want organized in its current state and a batch of inspo photos. For the example space, I got sent a joint Pinterest board with each spouse having their own section. Having a vision board for reference, especially if there's multiple people giving input, is crucial for the next step. Step 2, ask yourself the right questions. Don't ask yourself what makes you happy. Happy can be a very loaded word. Happy can come with a lot of baggage that you don't know how to unpack. Even though what was important to me was feeling safe and secure in my space, I never would have found the solution if I started by asking myself that. I simply wouldn't have even known how to answer that. Instead, your goal for your space is to be content. Your space should feel pleasing to you. And so the question to ask yourself as you look to your vision board for clues is, what about these inspo photos make you feel pleased? What's in common here? For the example couple, during intake, they both emphasized that they struggled to design a space because they both wanted different things. They were surprised when I told them that it would actually be very easy for me to make them both happy with the finished product. See, aesthetically, they both wanted similar things, but had a few seeming irreconcilable differences for how they wanted the space to function. One partner was a minimalist who wanted to be able to see everything they owned in the space at a glance. The other spouse wanted maximum storage use of a space with a layered organizational system. Think like packing a moving truck. Every square inch used, but you have to remove items to get to another one. However, by sitting with them and creating a dialogue using my intake questions, I was able to get to the core of why they wanted their respective organizational styles, after which I could highlight where their wishes overlapped and find healthy points of compromise when needed. To heavily summarize these clients' stage of the journey, I discovered that one person's emotional needs for the space was in conformation to the way things worked in their home of origin, while the other's was in opposition to theirs. Due to this, it was very easy for them to feel insulted when trying to work out how they preferred their space, and thus they struggled to get anywhere in talks. I have been able to deliver great results for people who feel hopelessly overwhelmed because, through my experience, I came to understand that organizational systems are emotional, and I made that a core part of my business practice. I cannot go over my entire intake process, nor every question I guide my clients through in order to understand their needs for a space. However, I can tell you that staying open to discovering yourself in this aspect, or being willing to be intellectually vulnerable to your design partner, will help you get the best results. Step 3, measure, measure, measure. I cannot stress enough that you need to know the dimensions of your space completely. For in-person jobs, I do all the measuring. But for virtual clients, I give them a sheet with a diagram of the space and a box to fill in next to each aspect I require a measurement for. Here's what that might look like. The reaction to someone seeing how much measuring needs to be done for a space is always that of astonishment. For example, to measure for these clients' bathroom cabinets, I needed not only the standard height, width, and depth, but also the width of the cabinet hinges, door dimensions, sink size underneath, the depth and placement of any knobs in the back, and finally, I had to know the measurements of the cleaning supplies they wished to store there. There's a lot of measurements to know, hence why having a single sketch sheet will simplify the whole process. Something to note in this stage is any unique features to your space that might affect how much of the space you can actually use. For example, this couple's drawer was roughly 1.5 feet deep, but only opened up to a little over 11 inches, as it was stopped from being pulled out any further by the toilet. I noted this down and created 2 possible solutions to present to them during the final consultation. Step 4, budget and plan. I consider myself a budget organizer, and what I mean by that is because I grew up poor, I specifically tailor my services to be accessible to lower income households, which are often the ones that need it most. So the breakdown of my costs is the flat service fee my clients pay me for my work, and then the cost of furniture or organization accessories for their space. To work within their budgets, I always present options at different price points. All this to say, I firmly believe there is an affordable way to organize almost any space if you can be patient and creative during planning. With these clients, I presented them with 3 different budget options from Target, Walmart, and Dollar Tree. During this stage of consultation, they told me they'd prefer to invest in metal for under the sink rather than plastic, as they wanted to buy something that would last. However, when it came to the drawer, the most important aspect was function and full visibility of items, so it was fine if they didn't get the clear acrylic sections of their dreams. Thus, we prioritized their budget to get rust-proof coated metal storage under the sink, and decided to organize the drawer using only Dollar Tree items. Be prepared to use a lot of scrap paper during this step, as you will need to research many items within your price range and plan out multiple arrangements of the space until you find something that works. I will go over how I plan this space out in the reveal. Once you've done that though, it's time to go shopping. Step 5. Buy and install. Once you've bought everything, you need to take everything out of your space and clean the area before you set up your new system. Make sure you have all the tools you need to prep your space, as well as complete any installation and setup. Also, be sure to manage your expectations so you're prepared for the unavoidable bumps in the road. For these clients, I went to Target and Dollar Tree to organize and upgrade the space. The cost for the cabinets was $129.25, and the total for the drawer was $10. So let's go over what I did with the space. Let's start under the sink. I'll be looking off camera as I talk, as I've printed out some reference photos. So we have a lot of smaller standard bathroom items, and then the cleaning supplies, a large box of diapers, and finally these toddler toilet seats and potty. The pink infant bath and large black toilet tool were going to be moved elsewhere. So on the left cabinet, I got Bright Room stackable slide-out drawers, placing a small one on the right side to hold all the white bee containers, as well as function as a storage place for our largest item, the potty. On the left side is a large drawer, and I decanted half the diapers into it. Currently stored on top is a sealed bag of the second half of diapers and bath letters. The original plan was to have another one of the small drawers on top of this one instead. However, while this is not an additional piece they wish to buy right now, the option is there for them if they ever wish or need to add more drawers to this cabinet. Moving over to the right cabinet, I got my clients 3 drawer towers, which I'll get to in a second, and utilized the doors to store our next largest items, the toilet seats. I got clear adhesive hooks from Dollar Tree and made sure to measure and test their placement so that the door would close with the seats hanging. I also measured to make sure the seats would fit in front of the towers. As for the towers, I got 2 of these Bright Room 3-tier drawer organizers to hold all the miscellaneous toiletries under the sink. These came with 2 small drawers and 1 large, which allowed for variety of function. In the middle, I got this Bright Room 2-tiered slide-out organizer. The bottom is a drawer, which can be used to store large bottles such as this soap refill. But on top is a fully removable basket that will function as a cleaning supply caddy. I loved this creative solution because it holds all the sprays, can be toted out easily when it's time to clean, but stores sleekly, not taking up as much space as a traditional caddy. In between these 2 towers, I placed these books that were previously just free-floating on the countertop. Conversely, I also took a few of the excess items under the sink and used them to style the countertop. There were previously candle jars and a fake orchid in the back of the countertop in an attempt to give the bathroom a bit of a casual elegance. I could see the client's original idea, but unfortunately it just got lost in the visual clutter. However, by corralling them into this black tray, I give them a designated area, which makes it look purposeful and visually appealing. I added this perfume bottle I found in the cabinet, and voila, it looks intentional and styled. Now for the drawer. The first thing I did was upgrade the style. I find that being pleased with how your space looks is an important aspect of maintaining an area. Also, styling and decorating an area can hide a lot of fixes. Let me show you. So the first thing I did after cleaning the area was lay down this Dollar Tree adhesive liner that matched the countertops and overall style these clients wanted for their bathroom. Next, I used the measurements of the inaccessible drawer space to create a rectangular tube using styrofoam poster board and masking tape. I used the remaining liner to wrap around this block. Once inserted into the drawer, it fit like a glove and would blend almost seamlessly with the style. This allowed me to make a space for my client that looked good, as well as stop items from shifting around and sliding to the back. Once this was done, the easy part was putting in the clear drawer insert and organizing the items inside. You can see a clear example here of nothing ever going perfectly, as I miscounted during purchasing and I'm missing a singular small cube insert. However, that is a matter of taking a quick trip back to the store. Once I'm done working on a space, I always leave my clients with notes on how to further upgrade or organize their space if they wish to do so. With these example clients, I gave them an affordable list of products that they could buy when they were ready and needed to add in more organizational storage. As they stated they eventually wanted to store towels in the cabinet, I added this Room Essentials metal caddy tote to their supplemental list, which would fit on top of the tiered drawers. If they eventually found the drawers to be getting too cluttered, they could buy these Bright Room storage trays to further organize the space and return it to its at-a-glance state. What I want you to take from this is twofold. First, understand that as you and your life change and grow, so may your needs in a space. If you've organized a space and it was working before, but it's not anymore, consider that it may just need a few extra organizational items rather than a complete redo. Secondly, you may be limited by your budget, but that doesn't mean you're stuck or need to put a lot on credit in order to make your space work. You simply require the understanding that you'll need to organize in phases, and completing a space will be a mapped out journey rather than a one and done shopping haul. I hope this video was helpful and informative. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments. I try and put out new videos every new and full moon, and I hope you'll be here next time. Bye!